Okay, the countdown is here. It is the 1st of July, and I'm leaving on the 5th for Cebu City. And crazy things always seem to happen at the last moment. So I bought a foreclosure in La Paz, down near where I have a place in Mexico, which was, in hindsight, really stupid. I put a lot of work into it, thinking it would be easy to get title and resell for a profit. Turns out pretty much impossible to get title, but the partner that is my Mexican friend that helped me deal with all of this has found a buyer for the status. The legal status that it is basically a foreclosure, and a lot of legal process needs to be done, preferably by a Mexican. It's a lot easier. So turns out that my legal representative is not available to sign, so I have to take a flight down to La Paz and come back on the 3rd. So a little bit of stress involved, but it means that I will have some money that I've been waiting for quite a long time. And I'm feeling ready here, and it's just not easy to get everything going. I've got a big bag that is going to be checked. My guitar is going to be checked. I've got a smaller bag and my backpack, and I've just got shit all over the place trying to figure out what to bring, what not to bring. It's just basically all my electronic cords and cables are there, and it's just a bit of a you know what. But this is a really positive thing, even though it's a pain in the ass. I'm gonna hop on a flight. I just bought a round trip. But the only way I could really make it happen with my budget is by driving to Tijuana. And from here, which is near Ventura, California, Ojai, it's about a 4.5 hour drive down to Tijuana. I've got to park, walk in San Diego, walk to the Tijuana side of the airport, and then fly down. My friend Elio is going to pick me up. And then tomorrow we go to the notario, which is basically the notary to get everything squared away so that I can actually sell this place. So here we go. It's going to be fun. Here I am en route to Tijuana to take my flight, because the round trip flight from LA was like $1,000, and the round trip flight from Tijuana to La Paz was $178. So saved $800 and some dollars doing it that way. It just means I got to drive from here all the way down through all of the LA crud to Tijuana. But it'll be interesting because I've never taken, you can park on the US side of the border and then you walk across a bridge apparently and walk into Tijuana. So anybody that lives in Southern California, hey, heads up. It's a way to save a hell of a lot of money if you're going to be traveling within Mexico. On the road here, just came down from Ojai. Ventura is coming up, and then I'll be driving south. Check out this cloud bank coming down from Ojai into to the beach areas a lot in the summer, especially June gloom, although it is July 1st. But you get this big wall of cloud. So we'll see. It might be socked in driving down. Usually it clears up afternoon, but that's usually the way it is down here. And then I'll be meeting up with my good buddy Eliodoro. He was the one that I bought this crazy foreclosed condo with. I bought it for $20,000. They have these sort of 4-story units with 8 units total in them that were built by the government in the 70s and 80s, and they're all over the place. And this one sits on the top of a hill and just has the most sick view. But there were no windows facing the bay, which was just funny and crazy. So I bought it. It was just a shell, knocked out some windows. It's got $1 million view, and it has no title. I have 100% rights to it, but it's in like a legal quagmire. I don't even understand it. I don't even know if the attorneys understand it, but you can basically pass on that 100% ownership to somebody else, and then they can figure out how to get title. So that's what is happening. Found some buyers, and I'm going down now because I have to sign a power of attorney for Elio to deal with all of it once they get the notary appointment, so that the buyer can come and they can do everything. Woo. See what happens. It's gonna be good. Oh, Mexico, going down the road, feeling bad. Bob Marley song that is greatly misinterpreted is "No Woman, No Cry." It isn't about what everyone thinks it is, that you don't have a woman and therefore you're not going to cry. eyes are thinking, oh, no more nagging, no more guilt. I have to actually watch my mouth a little bit. No, that's not what it is. It's actually consoling a crying woman. No woman, no cry. Just like that. So every time you hear the song, now you'd be like, God, he ruined it for me, because I like the other meaning. But, you know, sometimes the truth hurts. Coming up on Las Flores Canyon, which is where I lived right after UCLA. Coming up to the Malibu Pier, right in the center of Dukes of Malibu is the restaurant that's here. Here's Las Flores. So I lived up this canyon a ways, and it was gorgeous. A lot of memories. Crazy driving through here. There is so much carnage from the fire. There's so many houses on both sides that were burnt out. Every house along this stretch is gone. They just got it down to one lane. This whole place just burned to the ground. I can't even imagine what Pacific Palisades looks like, but this is pretty bleak. Burnt out cars still sitting by the side of the road. Some serious heat. The fire came through. Like mayhem and destruction along this beach. So much damage. That's totally burnt out. Holy shit. So I've made it to the 805 South just about, and then we'll be very close. My brother and I started a corporation down in Mexico in 2020, and we bought land. We built 2 houses down there, and I was the sweat equity, for lack of a better word. I put some in myself, but I was the one on the ground dealing with the laws and the taxes and all of the myriads of things that happen when you build anywhere, but particularly in Mexico. It's a little bit of an art, and you're always seemingly operating in the fucking gray zone, not exactly sure what's going on, or when you'll get your power, or when the plumber will come. But we got it all done. 2 beautiful houses in La Ventana, and I love spending about a year.
In half a mile, continue straight onto I-805 South. Signs for I-805 South, Chula Vista.
Appreciate that. This is Google Maps woman. That wasn't Siri. I've got Bixby now on Android, which she's so inferior. I really miss you, Siri. Anyways, let's stick to the point here.
Continue straight onto I-805 South. Signs for I-805 South, Chula Vista.
See those signs. Thank you for the reminder. And so I bought a crappy 4th floor foreclosed condo up above the Malecon on one of the highest hill really in part of La Paz, and there were walls facing the bay, which made no sense, but you know, some things in Mexico make 0 sense, and the rest parts of the world, but in Mexico a lot of the time it's just like, you know, Wisco, Tango, Foxtrot. You see, yeah, I say that a lot. What's going on here? You never know in Mexico, or in life, but in particular in Mexico is what I'm talking about now. And so I knocked out the windows. I bought it for super freaking cheap. And, you know, like we're talking about like what a nice car would cost. Put some money into it. Thought I'd get the title. Thought it'd be easy. Long story short is, after just having a pain in the ass of dealing with this thing the whole time, trying to sell it, my business partner, the one that sold it to me and has helped me fix it up and do all the logistics, he's getting the commission, but he's getting all of the work ready at the notario. And we had a legal representative named Porfirio, my friend, who's a Mexican national. And then we renounced that, and I didn't know if it was going to be in the computer system or not. And it was. And so I was hoping he could sign, but it turns out I have to sign since I'm the legal rep officially now. And so I have to fly down. I'm leaving on the 5th for the Philippines, so I'm cutting it close. I'm glad we got word of me needing to be down there. And the only option was me to drive to Tijuana, grab a cheap ticket, because they're literally 5 times more round trip from LA. So I'm going to see what this is like too. I've always wondered, like, what's it like to park on the US side and walk into the Tijuana airport, and the airfares are just so cheap compared to the US. So it's very cool that people can do that, and I would encourage people to do that live, you know, even 3 hours from the freaking border. Why not? Save some money. Maybe you can see SeaWorld or visit one of your favorite beaches on the way down. Who knows? Anyways, this is what's going on. And I'm not flying back until Thursday evening. Then the next day is the 4th, and then I fly out on the 5th. Woo! There's a lot going on, and if I can pull this off and get the money in my account, I will feel very, very good about it. And there will be some celebrations. So we're here in Mexico's like literally about 500 meters that way. We're in like what feels like a business park or something. Parking's nearby, so I'll figure out that. There's all sorts of parking around here. You can park on the street like I'm gonna do, or you can, there's a whole bunch of various lots from standard to deluxe. So if you want, you can pay $35 a night. I think on the street it's something like 15. And you scan this little thing here. So that's there we are, CBX. I'm here. And this is just a big old parking lot. And I parked right on the edge of it. Beautiful, hills in the distance. Really nice, beautiful, beautiful California day. And I have got one pack, which is on my back. So that feels good to travel with just a pack, because when I move to Southeast Asia, I'm gonna have my guitar, a checked bag, carry-on, and a handbag. Yes, I've got this little palm tree passageway all to myself. It's like my own little airport Shangri-La. I mean, seriously, this is pretty awesome. It's like a freaking business park. We've got Starbucks here. Very pleasant surroundings. Doesn't feel really like an airport. So kudos to... Tell you what, more and more, this makes Mexico City Airport look like, I don't know, like a bad dream or a thrift store or a hospital in need of repair. But this clean, sanitized Panda Express. There's even a Shake Shack. And everything is brand spanking new. Johnny Rockets, Starbucks, Veeps. Wow, so it ain't that cheap though. It is $32 across the bridge for a single trip and $52 for round trip, plus $45 for parking for 3 days. So if you're here for a long trip, yeah, you pay the price for it, but it's very convenient. Another reason, and just want to emphasize, one of the reasons I'm not staying in Mexico is because the prices have gotten just stupid. Obviously, this is an airport, but we're talking Dunkin' Donuts, you know, 60 pesos for a freaking donut, $3. Sandwiches at some of the shops for like 333 pesos, which is like $16, $17. It's just, it's fucking crazy. Things have gotten way out of control in the Western world. And although I love Mexico, of course you leave the airport and prices go down and you can find some economical meals, but overall prices are really so much higher than they were 3, 4, 5 years ago. The epic today is that it's almost completely, it's like a ghost town. You can see the flight board. And I mean, check it out. There's like nobody here. It's beautiful. It's been like a cakewalk. Doesn't even feel like an airport. I'm still in the airport really early at this point, and if we needed any more proof we're in Mexico, all we need to do is look right across the street. There is faithful old Voleros. So that's my, I don't know if that's my plane. No, it's too early. That's my gate. No, it's not. That's gate 7. I'm gate 11. So I'm not exactly sure where I am. Probably wondering if I'm even going to get on my flight. Don't worry, I'll figure it out. And we just touched down in the airport. Easy peasy. That was a short, easy flight. And so I'm here in La Paz, and it's beautiful and hot. Seems like all the places I choose are very hot. You can't find decent expat places really that are affordable, that aren't hot at least part of the year. And I guess part of the trick is just to kind of mitigate that. So here in La Paz, it's an oven in the summer months, and where I'm going in the Philippines and Vietnam and Southeast Asia, you know, you've got the humidity and the heat and sometimes the monsoons. but that is all good. In fact, the humidity I can get used to. I lived in Florida for 10 years, so all good there. But this is beautiful La Paz. The best part about it is the Malecón that walks along the sea, and it is a beautiful, charming place. As long as you're not in, the ugly parts. One of the reasons I really do enjoy La Paz, it's relatively small compared to Cabo San Lucas, and it's not as touristy. It's starting to become. In fact, there's more direct flights flying in to La Paz instead of the Los Cabos airport. It's just got a more authentic vibe, and prices, of course, are a little bit lower than Cabo San Lucas. Cabo was great like 25 years ago. It was awesome back in the day, but it's so overdeveloped that it just kind of makes me want to throw up in my mouth a little bit whenever I have to drive down there. But here, it's a different story. It's really beautiful. It's really charming. You can walk along the Malecón. At night, this really comes alive. There's families out, and as long as you stick to sort of near the water in La Paz, it's a really awesome city. The area that I'm in right now is called Esterito. You can see the seas out there, and this is sort of a quaint little street. La Cayota is a bar and restaurant, and this is sort of the district where it's a little touristy. There's some good eateries. La Mentita actually used to have a branch out in La Ventana as well, but you can find really good eats around here. It's kind of funky, very walkable. I love this guy's rooftop. Super cool. But plenty of good food, plenty of good cafes. My favorite cafe is called 1240, which is where I am right now. One thing that's nice too is there's usually murals everywhere in this city. You just drive around, there's a bunch of random ones. Some are good, some are not so good, but it keeps it interesting. So the best beaches are out at Balandra, which is about a half an hour drive from here. But if you're in the city and you need some beach time, there are some small beaches along Malecón. Oh, gotta give this Land Cruiser some love. That is fucking sweet. Look at that thing. And this is a random little park, just in the middle of nowhere, off the street. Very pleasant. You can come here and chill. Oh, there's a big game of chess. I just rewatched The Queen's Gambit, by the way. If you haven't seen it, gotta see it. Beautiful. And it is pretty much scorching hot here. The sun in Baja really just is a killer. It's nice, but you just don't want to be out in it for too long. And today's actually not that hot. So we're talking probably it's only like in the low 90s or so, because it can get super, super hot here, like Saudi Arabia hot. So I had to deal with the notario, where I went and signed a power of attorney so that my business partner could sell the cesión de derechos. It's basically a foreclosure, so it's actually a ceasing of rights. Is a literal translation. They're actually buying that. They have 100% rights to the condo that I have, and if I get a chance and I'm savvy enough to figure it out, again, I'll post some pictures of it. Had an incredible view, and there were high hopes. I'm just lucky and thrilled to be getting most of my money back, if not all. I think I'll just about break even, which is really a loss when you think about it, because you ideally want your money to work for you, and it's been 3.5 years or so since I bought the stupid thing. So a good lesson in keeping things simple. You got to know what your risk tolerance is, and I like to keep it simple. I just don't like to deal with shit like that. It's just, oof. Doing banking in Mexico too is I'd rather go to a dentist, for a root canal. It's just so unpleasant. It's ridiculous. But anyways, making it through that, it's all good. And I fly back out tonight. I've got the 4th of July in Ojai tomorrow. And then I fly out for the Philippines. So, all good. We're down here at the Malecon. And you can see it's a bit more touristy. Lots of restaurants. Here's an ice cream shop. Some nice restaurants. This is like the main pavilion across the street. A lot of times they have concerts there and such, but the nice thing is the Malecon runs, it's about, I think, 9 or 10 kilometers from end to end. And people come out in force at night, and you know, it's very family oriented. Lots of families, lots of couples, everyone's walking, enjoying. And then you've got this little protected bay. There's a nice cat out there. Yeah, it's a pleasant spot. If you want to hang out, drink some cold ones, and enjoy some Mexican food, it's a good place to be. It's a fitting name, isn't it? It's just a very peaceful place, as long as you're down by the sea. But it is pretty chill for a Mexican city. It's nice. And I am in the center. Once you get away from the Malecon and the sea, it's really not that pleasant, I'd say. Maybe the paseños would disagree with me, but it's really not all that wonderful outside of the area walking along the beach called the Malecon. So I did all my banking. It was a pain in the ass. And I'm on my way back to the hotel. A word I love called pulchritude, which is kind of like beauty and ugliness, right? Like Mexico's so random. You've got sidewalks like this. You've got, you know, random yards where there's just dead trees. And then a block later, you might have a department store or a really nice house with a swimming pool. It's just completely bizarre. But La Paz is interesting because it's just a big grid of streets. And it's not huge city, but large enough for lots of different neighborhoods. So it's kind of interesting just to walk around and check it out. Yeah, that's a boutique hotel, 700 pesos a night, so a little under 40 bucks a night. Well, there's a lot of great murals. There's a few average ones. This looks like it's done by a third grader perhaps. And then there's a nice new condo. It's really mixed. And there's a church, a little neighborhood taqueria that I'm going to grab some chow at. We got the food lined up outside, and inside es bien bonita. So after the bank, I was sweating my ass off. Did a shower, a wardrobe change. It's a beautiful day. There's some cloud cover coming in. I am just checking out this beautiful old fort over here, which you will see mine in about 9 months. My plans are to come back to Mexico, to La Ventana, because my brother and I own 2 houses on the beach about 45 minutes from here. So I'll be Southeast Asia for like 9 months. So excited about that. And then I'll be back and I'll be showcasing La Ventana, a little bit more of La Paz. And I'm going to, if I have the cash in my account, restore. It's on the way. It's actually pretty restored already, but I've got a 1965 Ford F100. It's a beauty, and the body needs some work, and the speed odometer is not hooked up, so I've got to do that. But let me show you this old Ford sitting in the street. I love this shit. Like on the streets of Mexico, there's so many random old cars. This old girl, she must be what? I'm guessing 1940-ish, maybe even late 30s. Definitely a freaking wrecker, but pulchritude, right? It's just beautiful, really. I love the old stuff. Man, this thing is super rusted out. Obviously, it doesn't run. And yeah, it could use a restoration. If there's any one thing that I love to do when I travel is just get out and walk. You never know what you're gonna find. It's always interesting. You're gonna find an interesting restaurant, maybe meet somebody, meet a dog. Lots of dogs here in La Paz. Best thing to do is to get out on your own 2 feet and just walk. German Shepherd is here. She wants to say hello. She's really friendly though. She wants to lick and be petty. Yes, you're a nice girl. Yes, you're a nice girl. Are you hot? Yes, I know. Yeah. What's your name? What's your name? Oh, I love these Fords that they make here in Mexico. They cost a lot less than like a Raptor. This is a Lobo Tremor. That's a beauty. It's a beast. It doesn't have all of the same safety features, I don't think, as US made, but it's a beautiful. Grabbing a quick taco de pescado aquí. I forget what the name of this place is, but it's on the corner. Kind of interesting. There's on the wall. It's pretty cool. I just wolfed down a quesadilla, and this is the taco de pescado. It's fried, and it is a meal. It's almost like fish and chips on a tortilla. That's a trippy building. Look at the roof on that thing. It's really different. You never know what you're going to find here. Also, this reminds me a little bit of the Philippines. This is just a random basketball court. There's tons of basketball courts in the Philippines. The thing about Mexico that's interesting, there's really no eye for design or beauty in architecture. I mean, I'm generalizing here, but you know, ugly is beautiful.
Hey man, can I sell you my car? My Volkswagen is real nice.
Eso también, cabrón. Es muy barato. There's still a few of the landlines. I ran into this. This looks really cool. It's all restored. Casa 1880. It's got a nice fancy menu. A yoga bowl. California toast. Man, this is high end. Let's check it out. Oh, this is killer. Beautiful. Very nice. Oh, wow. I did not know this was here. This is super freaking cool. And there's an outdoor area with a pool. This might be part of a hotel. Really beautiful. The designer is showing me this room.
It's beautiful. You see the detail?
Yeah. It's beautiful. No idea that that was even there. He said it's about 7 months old, but man, that is really well done. That's one of the nicer places in La Paz, for sure. 1880, 1880. You got a couple doors down is the Love Boutique. So after you have a nice meal and swim in the pool, you can buy sex toys. Y aquí tenemos la Catedral. This is one of the more beautiful things in La Paz by far. We're still in the same area as 1880 where I just was. This is called Esterito, and it's really a place where the prices have gone sky high. When I first got here about 5-6 years ago, you could buy some nice properties in this area for a reasonable price, and now they're just crazy. Like everything, prices are going up everywhere. And this is really beautiful here. We're getting closer to the sea. In my opinion, it's a total rip-off of Los Angeles, these light posts, because that's a landmark in LA. You've probably seen it, but they've got it here. I wonder where they got the idea. It's cool. So the Mexico trip is a wrap, a successful one, about 60-hour trip, just down and back, driving down to Tijuana and crossing the bridge, flying into La Paz, and then coming back to Tijuana and driving back up. Now I'm in the airport at LAX, flying for the Philippines. So that will be the next video, but I hope you enjoyed this segment. Stay tuned.